Hello, everyone, and welcome to Harv's World for another episode of Off the Grid. We are back. And, well, I'm not going to say many things are afoot, but we got a little bit going on today. Hopefully, we'll get plenty accomplished. It's a reasonably early morning. It's not exactly a bright early morning. It's bright. It's morning, but it's not terribly early, and not for a farmer anyway. We'd have been up at 5 o'clock if it were. Anyway, Kevin asked me to meet him for breakfast this morning. I told him I would, and I'm running late because I was supposed to be there at 8 o'clock. Oops. But I figured if I had to make a drive into town, I told Mrs. Nelson about, I've got some extra cotton I would bring over to her, so I figured I should probably grab that up and run it over. And I've got a little extra something I've got to take care of this morning. Should be interesting. I'm not entirely sure how it's all going to work out, but it should be interesting. I will explain, but not just yet. What do we got to get done today? Well, I've got plenty going on. Like I said, I've got cotton to deliver. I've got this special task that I need to take care of. What else? Well, Kevin wants to meet for breakfast. I've already said that, but I'm sure he wants to discuss options for the farm, the homestead, and probably talk about how things are going to play out for him as far as what we're going to do about getting him set up. And that's a tall tree. As far as getting him going, finding a spot for him to put down some roots. I mean, things are going fine between him and Pierre. There's no problem. But of course, if Kev's going to stay, he wants a place of his own. That's completely understandable. And so, and I gave him my deal. I said I'll give you the same deal I gave Pierre. I'll carve out a plot for you. We'll call it 50 grand. 50 grand for the land. Whatever you put on it is your choice, of course. And you're going to have to forest it out. And I'll tell you, when Pierre did his, Pierre made enough money on the logs himself. Now, he's going to have to haul logs. Pierre didn't have to haul logs because Chuck was still around with his sawmill. Here's our church. So he'll have to haul the logs somewhere. I will gladly loan him the Peterbilt and the log trailer. That's not a problem. I'm going to get jammed up in here because I've got something extra with me today. Maybe not. Maybe not. Let me see my camera a little bit better. There we go. And I'm going to drop that animal trailer right there. And then we'll pull the cotton up here like we did before, just about right there. Drop it off. And then I'm going to run over to meet Kevin, and I'll come back for the animal trailer. Yes, there's a reason for it. Don't get your panties in a bunch. I'll tell you why here in just a minute. But anyway, yeah, so Kevin, we'll give him the same deal. I've already talked to Pierre a little bit about where would be a good place and things like that. And, well, we'll get it sorted. We will get it sorted. Uh-oh. Mr. Police Officer coming my way. Give him a wide berth. Always give him a wide berth. You never know. He doesn't like me very much anyway. I'm sure you know why. Anyway, I'm sure he's a nice enough person. The police around here are nice enough. Don't get me wrong. I'm not anti-police or anything. That's not my point. Yeah, Kevin beat me here. I'm not exactly pulling into this parking place like a pro, am I? Oh well, that's life. Alright, let me go have some breakfast, and we'll be right back. Well, old Kevin had plenty to talk about. He's got some really good ideas. I'm looking forward to implement what he's got wheeling around in his brain. One thing that he recommended, and it made perfect sense when I thought about it. And you know, the silly part is we've got plenty, although not really what he's talking about. But he was looking at the cattle, and he said, you know, it might do them good if we put a big shade tree out there. It's like, not that, you know, not that cattle are exactly weak or susceptible, because we don't get extreme temperature fluctuations around here or anything. But he said, you know, they would do well to have at least some little bit of shade out there that they could chill in. No pun intended. And so I thought that was a good idea. It seemed reasonable. And he asked me about the crops. You know, what kind of crops was I looking for? And I said, just make money. Whatever you think will bring in some cash for the homestead. I said, I'm happy with that. I've got, well, with the exception of the potatoes that should be coming in pretty soon, and I've got to make sure to check on the equipment for those. Get that backed around. I've got to check on the equipment for those, but they should be in good shape. So, you know, I've got my sunflower seeds, which I really want. I've got wheat for my chickens, and I can grind up to make some bread when I need to. And what else? There was something else. Oh, barley to make soup. Just things like that. I said, so at this point, you know, there's the bakery over here, the cake bakery. They're more than willing to take flour. They like the artisan stuff. So we'll do things like that. And he's like, okay, well, I will formulate a plan and we'll see what we can come up with. Now, I'm supposed to meet this guy back in this alley. I'm not turning in like that, I'm not. Okay, there we go. Man, isn't she a beauty? Absolutely gorgeous horse. So, let me back up a little bit. Actually, we'll head back to the homestead, and then I'll tell you the story along the way. If I can get out of here, this is a pretty tight fit. We'll see what we can do. So, I got a call the other day, and a guy on the other end of the line, he says, is this Harv? And I said, yeah, this is Harv. And he said, excellent, I've been wanting to talk to you. And I said, okay, good. And he had a little bit of an accent. That's all good. He said, so Mrs. Nelson, Lisa Helen, you know Lisa Helen? And I said, yes, I know Lisa Helen. He said, she tells me you have a farm. And I said, yes, I have a farm. And he said, do you keep horses on your farm? And I said, yeah, I've got a horse. He said, well, I've got a beautiful horse, and I'm having trouble finding a place to put it. I need a place. I can't keep it in town. And I said, well, of course you can. I said, you know, my buddy Hugo has a place for animals, you know, not too far from town. I said, you know, he keeps, sells, and trades animals, has a lot of stuff to take care of them. He said, I've been out there. He said it's not a bad place, but it's not the kind of place I want my horse. I want him to be in a more natural setting. And I said, well, you don't get much more natural than the forest. And he said, yeah, but it's very crowded in there. And I said, well, okay, I'll give you that. Yeah, Hugo's place is a little bit crowded. I better close this gate behind me. Because if I don't, then, you know, Pierre's going to come through here and give me crap because because I didn't close the gate, because I'm always telling him, Pierre, remember to close the gate. So anyway, Mr. Reed, his name's Ed. Easy name to remember because my buddy Ed. So Ed Reed says, can I come out and look at your farm? And I said, sure, I'll bring you out. So he came out. He said, oh, this is the perfect place for a horse. Nice, wide open, not too noisy with a bunch of animals. I said, well, I got chickens too and some cattle. And he said, yeah, but they're spread out, you know, they're not all combined. I said, okay. He said, could you keep my horse here? And I said, well, I can't keep your horse for free. He said, but my beautiful Altoona, I need a place for her, and I'm not concerned about the money. The money is no big deal. I said, you know, she's going to need feed, she's going to need bedding, she's going to need riding, you know, exercise. He said, well, I'll be coming out to exercise her, no problem. So I said, well, as you know, as long as you'll come out to exercise her, and you know, I'll make sure she's got food, water, bedding, all of that. And then he said, $300 per week. I've paid far more than that in other places, and this is a great spot for my Altoona. And I said, okay, done. $300 a week. I'll make sure she's got feed. I'll make sure she's got water, bedding, and companionship. And he said, now, is your horse male or female? I said, my horse is male. His name is Raster. And he said, has your horse been snipped? And I said, snipped? And he said, you know, snipped. And he made a little motion with his fingers. And I said, no, my horse hasn't been snipped. And he said, well, I'll just have to take the chance. I said, well, you know, if anything comes out of it, I mean, you know, my Raster's a gentleman. But if anything should come out of it, we can make arrangements for that later. He said, fair enough. As long as my Altoona is well taken care of, then I have no problem with this arrangement. Okay, we have got an Altoona. And, you know, it provides Raster a little bit of company too. So I can't complain. I am going to need to stock them up on feed and hay and all that a little bit. But not at the moment. Not at the moment. Alright, well, Kevin got down here and got a quick start on the... Well, I mean, we had things to do, but we've got a quick start on the day. Looks like he's getting that field planted up. Very nice, Kev. Way to go, buddy. And I'm going to cut through the grass because I can. It's my homestead. I do what I want. Now, the guys have been working on the sawmill. Let me tell you. Truck's been coming in and out of here, and I promised Pierre I would get a load of logs, at least loaded up for him. But before I do that, I want to run back and see what's been going on back here, because I have a feeling there's some good progress being made, and I don't want to miss out. So I'm going to make the drive back, and I haven't been back here in a while. And I don't know if you remember or not, but it's quite a hike. And I've got logs stacked up all over the place through here, which once the sawmill gets operational, that's going to come in handy. Be able to get that up and running right away and start recouping some of the cost. Now I'm already in for $125,000. That was earnest money, getting started money, bringing in the equipment and all of that money. Oh, well, look at that. Looks like they're starting to work on the foundation. Very nice. And What else do we have? And don't let me forget, guys, I've got some finances to take care of today. Yeah. Looks like they've cut a road up here. What's going on, fellas? Okay, it's not like I don't know what needs to be done back here, but this is a little earlier than I expected. What's going on? I think I know. I just want confirmation. They went right up to the highest point around here. Yep, that's what I thought. Rough action. They didn't do a good job of clearing the trees. Alright, let's take a look. Green lights all over the place. Everything is running as intended. What have we got? We have got a thing. A thing we can't see. Oh, come on. I can get a better angle than this. Oh, yeah. I'm just looking at it from the wrong side. So, in order to provide power, and we really can't see it very well from down here, but in order to provide power to the sawmill, part of the package was an industrial-sized solar panel. You see how that's pointing right at the sun? Yes. This is a solar grid, and of course, in order to get it up here, they had to cut a road and then cut in, well, underground electrical lines, basically, right back down the road. Right back down the road. Yeah, so that's phase one. Obviously, getting power to the to the sawmill is going to be a huge priority. Man, they really built up a foundation on that too. Very nice. So things are progressing on the sawmill. It's coming along. And like I said, 125 grand earnest money out of the gate. It's going to be much more expensive than that, I can assure you. But it's well on its way. Not sure what they're digging out there, but hey, who am I to judge? They've moved a lot of earth around here. Alright. I'm going to run down and see what I can do about getting Pierre a load of logs for one of his construction jobs down there at the new lots. One of them's done already. Only 5 to go. We'll see what he has up his sleeve for these fine folks. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Very nice. I see. Gotcha. There you go. There you go. Like so. Okay, before I do this, I said I've got finances to take care of. I have got finances that have got to be taken care of. Now, I asked you guys to remind me, and some of you did. In fact, Jonathan in particular, and Jory helped me out and reminded me that no, I have not paid Ed the $35,000 I owe him for the cotton harvesting equipment and all that jazz. Let me pay Ed right now before he gets in trouble with the Russians. We don't want that. Okay, that takes care of Ed. Now, I'm also owed $25,000 for the load of logs that I hauled down earlier. So let's get that. Well, let's check the bank and see if that's come through and I can accept the payment. Let me check. There we go. Finances are completely in order. Nobody owes me anything, and I don't owe anybody anything. And I just realized parking my truck here was a really bad idea. So I'm going to back it down the lane a little bit. Because I'm notorious for managing to get right in the way of the work I'm trying to do. Alright, let's see what we got. We're wide open. I don't know. I'm not the most skilled loader, so I'm going to warn you right now. This may or may not turn out well. I mean, I've had plenty of loads run. Well, Well, usually Pierre loads. Get some camera action in there a little bit more so I can actually see what I'm doing. Nope, that was wrong. That's right. There you go, there you go, there you go. You got this. Come on, Jed, clamp it. Tip them back, bring them in. Oh, no, no, no. Close the clamp. Don't open it more. Close them. There we go, there we go. Nice and easy. 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 Now, this trailer makes it just a little bit tricky because of that suicide rack on the front, but we got this. We got this. I'm close enough, but I'm not lined up very well. Now I should be able to kind of test and see if it's good or not by just tipping this thing forward. Is that right? Oh, I nailed it. Look at that. Except for the... Oh, no. He's in. Look at that. Back. Okay, that's what I get for being cocky. There. Holy shnikes, Batman! That was a little bit painful, wasn't it? All right, let's see if we can do that again. Come on. Come on, Harv. You got this. Oh, nope. Yep. See? There we go. Getting cocky again. Tip it. Yeah, we'll go with that. It's a small one, but we'll go with that. We're gonna go nice and easy because these are acting like they're a little bit lopsided. Like they want to fling around. We don't need any flinging logs. Nice and easy. Slow and steady wins the race. Easy. Easy. Almost there. Almost there. Almost there. Alright, let's see what we got. Looks pretty good. Open sesame. There. And that's sort of what I was going for. We're getting this. We're getting this. I think this pile is just about going to fill that trailer too. That would be good. Now let's see if we can't use that tree as a brace. Work it. Work it. Don't you even get funky on me. You know what? I'm not going to risk it. I am going to drop these bad boys back down on the ground. And adjust. Because obviously all the weight's on one end. So we're going to have to try to get them about here maybe. We'll see. Something's got to work, right? Yes. Why? Because I said so, that's why. Alright, let's run with that. And pray. Somebody say a prayer. Say a prayer for Harv. Come on. This shouldn't be this hard. Actually, it's getting much, much easier. And I'm off script a little bit. I've got new controls. And so I'm trying to learn how to use them. I appreciate your patience with me. Because it's sort of working and sort of not. But, you know, old dogs and new tricks and all of that crapola. So, it's not the worst. Come on, it's not that bad. Okay, it's kind of bad, but still, I am learning. Gotta give me credit for that. Let's see what this will do for me. Can I get this last one? If this one goes in, I'm gonna call it a load. And if Pierre wants to throw more on there, he can. But yeah, this is going to be a load. Absolutely. That's a fine load. And absolutely lovely. That is a perfect load. Look at that. It's amazing. It's absolutely outstanding. Without a doubt. One of the most amazing things I've ever accomplished. Okay, maybe not that amazing, but still, you know what I mean. Hey, you gotta be proud of what you do, right? Yeah, whatever. I'm gonna go check on Kevin, see how he's getting along. Probably throw some herbicide down out there for him if he's got at least one field done. Maybe I'll grab a tractor and help him out. Let's see. Oh yeah, old Kevin's trucking right along out there. He's on his third field already. Man, that guy is a workhorse. But these fields are going to need herbicide. So we are going to take care of that for our good buddy Kevin. Without a doubt. And I probably better fill up. Because if I don't, I'm going to regret it. I can tell you right now. Oh yeah, totally going to regret it. So we'll fill up with some herbicide here. And start getting jiggy with it. Or something. I don't know. I just felt like saying, let's start getting jiggy with it. Because that's what Harv does sometimes. He says stupid crap. Okay, enough of that. Moving right along. Moving right along indeed. I'll be interested to see. I don't know what he's got in these fields yet. I will be interested to see exactly what he's got working out here. Alright, let's see what we got here. Go. Yeah, look at that. He's out there working that third field. Kev. Man. That really solved a big, big problem for me, I have to tell you. You know, I very much was thinking I needed a hand around here. And couldn't have come at a better time. We got a little bit of money coming in from the farm market, which I better get down there at some point and take a look at. We've got a little bit of money coming in now from our new horse Altoona that we're going to be looking after. We got a little bit of money coming in from milk and eggs when we go over to the cake factory, cakery, bakery, thingery, whatever you want to call it. And the sawmill is progressing quite nicely. Can't complain about any of that. I can complain about my driving though. Well, you can complain about my driving. There we go. That's a little better. Back on track. And we got Kevin helping us out. Now we got to get, Pierre's in charge of the lots. That's his gig. He's gonna, I talked to him. He's gonna get contracted out. Now, as far as Pierre goes, Kevin's staying with him, and like I said, I talked to Pierre a little bit because I didn't want to infringe on his territory, if you will. But I felt like it would be a good idea, instead of spreading everybody out and all of that, to keep everybody reasonably close. So I think what we're going to do, I'm going to map out the lot, extend the lane that runs up to Pierre's house, keep moving that north, make a new lot, not too close together, but reasonably close together, and then we will have Kevin as Pierre's neighbor, and that'll be darn handy. And then who knows what else could happen here. I mean, literally, because, well, the sawmill's going to be up and running pretty soon. Well, soonish. I'm not going to say immediately, but soonish. And while Hugo is doing pretty well for himself, and I'll tell you right now, I'm not going to put him in charge, but he has a lot of years experience working at a sawmill. And I'm kind of thinking maybe I'll have a conversation with Hugo and see how he feels about getting back into the timber cutting business. I'm sure he will not. I don't think he'll want to. But, realistically, I've got an experienced guy right here who can manage a sawmill and has proven that. He can't own a sawmill, but he can run a sawmill. That wasn't all his fault. It really wasn't all his fault. And I'll joke about it here just a little bit. He and I had a bit of a falling out over it, but in the long run, he still knows the business of sawmill operation. It was the financing, the true blue business aspect of it that got him in the end, which is unfortunate, but that's the way it is. So who knows? He will probably turn me down because he's got plenty to do, taking care of animals, shipping them out, bringing them in, all of that. But if he wanted to make some extra money, that would be fine. Now, there is another option, and I almost don't want to take this option, and I'll tell you why. Pierre had plenty of experience. After Chuck got sick, he came in to help Hugo with the sawmill, and he did a lot of work at that sawmill for Hugo. So Pierre does know sawmill operation as well. But Pierre still helps Hugo with his animal business, and so I don't want to infringe on what they've got going on. You know what I mean? Like it gets a little hairy. Trying to, and it sounds crappy to say manage your friends, but that's kind of what you end up doing sometimes, just to keep things going the way you want them to, or need them to. And because you care about them and you don't want to step on their toes, hurt their feelings, whatever. So, that's a big consideration. I don't want to put Hugo in a bad place by taking Pierre. And there's always the option that now that I've got Kevin to manage pretty much the homestead and the farming operation up here, that maybe I'll just run the sawmill myself and then help Kevin out as he needs it. we'll see. We will see how all of that ends up playing out in the long run. A lot to think about, a lot to take in, a lot of field to spray, but we are cranking right along. But I think that's going to do it for this episode of Off the Grid. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons down below. As always, I very much appreciate you coming along for the ride. And until next time,